Welcome to As a Fan. This is a live interactive sports show built for fans and fandom. We celebrate being a fan overall, not too much of a stickler on talking about stats and this, that, and the other. This is literally just for you as a fan to express your fandom. We're trying to get this show featured, so please make sure that you refrain from any profanity, and afterwards, this show will be uploaded on YouTube so that if you want to watch it again or if somebody else wants to watch it, it'll be there. So today we have a great guest, and I'm going to get to the guest in just a moment. But first, I have a couple of announcements, of course. So I'm gonna shout out just a couple of shows that I know that are still rolling. Like I checked the banner, but I'm not sure that all of those shows on the banner are still rolling. But there are a couple of shows that I do know that are still rolling. First of all, Geeked Out with Top Bash Casper on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do not miss that. And Modern Day Bay, hosted by El the Drug, Top Badge El the Drug, hosted on Tuesdays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've been a guest on both of those shows, and it was a fantastic time. Also, Top Badge Aquarian is having the Lounge Olympics February 22nd at 8 p.m. EST. If you want to know exactly what the Lounge Olympics are, you need to go to her live and ask her, or go to her Instagram. Her DMs are open. You can go in there, ask, and maybe, I don't know if she's still taking people to be a part of it or what, but make sure you go and check her out. Another quick shout out to Don't Play the 50. Shout out to Don't Play the 50, who just received his top badge. Like, can we clap it up? Can we clap it up? Can we clap it up? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's been a long time coming. My dog finally got his badge, and we in here and we lit. So shout out to him. Y'all make sure y'all fave him and go in there. The stream is always cool over there. You know what I'm saying? Just don't go over there with no BS, and it's all good. It's all gravy. All right, it's all fun. All right. Just a couple of other announcements real quick. Again, I don't know if y'all heard. I heard, all my folks heard, the Liddy committee has heard and will be in attendance at Live Fest. Well, actually, let me take that back. It's no longer called Live Fest. It's called IRL. What is it? It's IRL something. I can't remember exactly what it is. They changed the name. However, Expo, IRL Expo. And it's in Vegas the last weekend in July. So if you are a top badge, if you are a VIP, or if you are a boss badge, you'll get an email on Friday where you'll be able to go in and get your tickets. I'm not exactly sure what the ticket situations are looking like yet. We'll all find out at the same time on Friday. But after that, they have a specific amount that they let the top badges and everybody get theirs, and then they open it up for everybody else. And it's a blast. I went in 2024. I didn't go in 2025, and I'm so glad that they have moved it from Florida to Vegas. It's lit, and I hope to see everybody there. There's going to be a tagged mascot. I found out about the tagged mascot last week. I have no idea. I guess they're taking suggestions on what the mascot should be. So if you guys have a suggestion, go ahead and just put it in the comments so I can get a good laugh. Because I am not sure what this mascot, like, is it going to be a microphone? You know what I mean? Like, what's it going to be? Is it going to be like, could it be like a phone, could it be like a cell phone or something? I don't know what this mascot is going to be, but I think it's going to be funny. I think it's going to be great, and it's going to be funny. Hey, everybody, welcome to the stream. This is As a Fan, and this is where the fans come to show their fandom about their favorite football teams. Okay. What was that? What is that? A ticket? Is that a ticket? Thank you. Thank you. That'll be a dragon. Oh, a dragon would be lit. I ain't even think of that. Why didn't I think of that? A dragon will be lit. It will be lit. They had like a green dragon, like turquoise, the color, their brand colors. That would be sweet. Last but not least, there will be a reality show. Tag will have a reality show. It's going to be on YouTube. Now, I ain't gonna hold you, don't nobody know what it's gonna be about. It's some sort of a game show. People are already slated to audition for it. There's been contests just to get to the point of auditioning because it was like so many people that wanted to do this. So good luck to all of the people who are going to go out there to audition. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into the show. I have such a special guest this week for this show. And shout out again to Don't Play the 50 for suggesting. This guy is one longtime friend of the app, even though he was off the app for a little while, and he has come back to the app, and we are going to get him up here and talk about his fandom. So, Mato, please request the box. Mato.
What's going on?
Hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, huh?
All right. Oh, you came to see. You came in here with the Saints gear, and I got all my questions for LSU. But we go.
Either way it go, we can do both ways. I'm very, very.
You said you coming up in here repping it. It is what it is today. I mean, I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all. So, Mato, tell us a little bit about yourself and just work your streaming history, like as far as tag is concerned.
All right, so I'm Mato. I've been on tag for about off and on for about like 5, 6 years. Um, I'll say that my tag journey has been. I can't lie. I really, really love the journey that I've been on. I think that I met a lot of great people on this app, and they blessed me with their presence, and I can't complain about that. Other than that, I got my boy 50 right there. Like he been one of my longest supporters and brother on the app, so I can't really complain about that also.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, thank you. Now, real quick, because I made a little bit of a mistake, but I want you to just stay up here. I do have some football news. I was supposed to do the football news before you got up here,
Go ahead.
but it's all good because you can talk to me about it if that's what you want to do. So, first of all, my first big news. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. If you don't, or on TikTok, y'all make sure y'all follow me. I'm Autumn the Aries everywhere. But on TikTok, I put out a video about Sacramento State football team who was in the FCS is now going to the FBS and they are joining the Mid-American Conference. Max in action. Let's get into it. They joining the MAC. Y'all know I'm a MAC girl. I'm an alumni of the University of Toledo, even though, I'm a big fan of Ohio State. But I went to the University of Toledo, so I'm all about that Max in action. I've been to plenty of MAC games. They are definitely lit. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I think it's a great move for them. I honestly think it's a great move for anybody that's going to move from, a D2 team or as a D2 team into D1. What you think about that?
I think that that's dope. I really don't follow on that team, but anytime you can go from D2 to D1, that's great. Tulane was a D2 school for some years until they made it to the Americans. So like I understand how the difference is, the money is,
Mm-hmm.
how you get the ads and stuff like that. So this definitely gonna put them on the map.
Yep. So speaking of money, they are going to have to come off of 18 milli. And there's a lot of people that's like, oh my God, this money is just going to be so much. And I'm thinking to myself, they wouldn't put themselves into it if they thought that they were going to go into it being in the hole. Like, I don't think, because they're going to get now different TV rights. They'll get all types. They'll get different sponsorships now. They do have to upgrade their facilities. They have to do curate more scholarships, and they have to pay for their own travel. But outside of that, I'm like, the only issue I'm thinking with the travel is, what I'm saying, y'all got to come to the MAC and be in the snow, be in the frigid cold.
Right,
in the
right.
wintertime. Like they ain't got no snow out there. Not like that. Maybe in the mountains somewhere. They ain't got. So I think that'll be a little bit of a change. And the other big news with them is their coach. So I don't know if you've heard of Zoe Carter, but he's a black coach out
Mhm.
in from like I think he's from Oakland originally, and he's done a whole lot of coaching over there. He was a assistant coach and a running backs coach at Arizona State before he came to Sacramento State. And he is great for recruiting because, again, like he brought a lot of them kids up over there in Oakland, like
Mhm.
he, out there out west or whatever. So a lot of those kids trust him out there. And just a fun fact, Zoe Carter was a backup dancer for MC Hammer.
I knew I felt like he was about to say this. As soon as I heard back, yeah, MC Hammer or J-Lo, which one?
Yes, he was a backup dancer for MC Hammer, and he talks about it. I think there's like a couple of news pieces about him that I watched a couple of weeks ago, and so I'm just happy for him. I'm glad that he is now coaching this school, and it's a D1 school, and we'll really get to see, how well his coaching, how great his coaching skills are. And what I'm saying, it's Black History Month to him.
Yeah, shout out to the brother,
Shout
I
out to
think
the brother.
as like, like as a coach that could actually like draft like could move his whole team or some of the boys that he bringing with him over there to that squad. I think that's great for familiarity when it come down to like quarterback and running backs. The offensive lineman, you may have seen something that you didn't like about the offensive line when you was coming in there. So you
Yep.
get to bring whoever you want to bring in, and then just add to the pieces. We seen Deion Sanders do that with Colorado, and I think that that was actually dope.
Yep, yep. I think I'm so excited about it. Like again, anybody that's joining the MAC, because like again, the MAC is of course the MAC is not the Big Ten, it's not the SEC, it's not even the ACC to be honest. But people be sleeping on the MAC. Like they play during the week sometimes. So if you're up and you want to watch a game on a Wednesday night, typically they're on like ESPN2 or something like that. But I'm gonna just go ahead and put this out here now. I don't really care who comes to the MAC. Toledo Rockets is gonna win the MAC this year, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out there and say that. Even though
Yeah.
they didn't do it last year, they got a new coach. Everything is
Mhm.
everything. Eddie George coaches at Bowling Green. They're in the MAC,
Yep.
so it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. So, and
Nice.
I did follow Bowling Green, even though I hate them because that's our rival. But I did follow them because of Eddie George.
Mhm.
So speaking of really quick, Black History Month and Heisman winners, because Eddie George won the Heisman. There is one Heisman winner that I want to highlight, and that is Archie Griffin. And let me tell you why. Not only just because he was at the Ohio State University, but he's the only Heisman winner to win the Heisman twice.
Mm.
So I just want to let everybody know that Archie is the man. You know what I'm saying? He is the man. He is a Heisman Trophy winner twice. If anybody ever asks you, if anybody want to, you better just tell them Archie Griffin from the Ohio State University. All right,
Mhm.
now back to Mato. All right, so tell me what I know about you is that you're a big New Orleans Saints fan and you're a big LSU fan. And I want to know how you became a fan of these teams.
All right, so I guess I can go ahead and start with LSU. For one, my father he played for LSU. He was a linebacker in 19, I say like 88, 87. So that was
Mhm.
probably where the start started right there. I say like for me personally, I became an LSU fan like instantly. It's
Out the
just something
gate.
about that purple and gold that do something. And plus it's just the home team. I'm from New Orleans, so I definitely had to go with them. Uh, I think that with LSU, we always been dominant on defense. These past couple of years, we've been horrible, but we just had one of the worst coaches in the history of the CFB. So right now, we got Lane Kiffin coming over, and I think that that's going to change a lot of that. And that's why I'm really, really excited to still say that I'm a fan.
Okay, all right, yeah, okay. We can keep it on LSU. I mean, we know you're a Saints fan. You got the Saints gear on, and it is what it is. All right, what is okay? So knowing that, and I didn't know that, knowing that your dad played for LSU. I think that is just like so dope. So yes, you really just don't really have another choice but to be an LSU fan if you really want to think about it
I
like
could have
that.
been I could have been a Southern fan, you know,
I
either
mean,
or.
could have been, you know what I mean? And honestly, you know what I'm saying? What I say about college, I'm different when it comes between college and NFL. You know what I always say? Like college, you could have different teams because you know it's just always gonna be something. Again, I went to the University of Toledo. I follow the Rockets. I'm a huge Ohio State fan. But the NFL, like I don't play that having more than one team. I can't trust you as a man if you have more
Mm-mm.
than one NFL team. I mean, you can't be loyal to them. I can't. I don't. It ain't happening. So
Your
it's
loyalties
hard.
ain't real.
No, you can't do it. What is one of the best memories that you had in watching an LSU game? Or not even, it doesn't even have to be watching a game. It could be you went to a game, it could be something regarding a player, any of that. What's like one of the best memories you have as a fan of LSU?
Oh, I got so many memories. I'll say one of my favorite memories was definitely when they won at home in the Superdome against Alabama. That's I don't care what any LSU fans say. That is the best feeling ever, right there. When you can smash on your team, I mean your team rival in your city. I mean in your state. That's the best feeling ever. You know. I think Skylar Green when he was playing that he ran back a kickoff return that sparked the whole show, and after that it was lights out.
That's always lit. Running back with
Mhm.
kickoff returns. All right. So any other ones you could think of?
Uh, I have a couple of them. I'll say even with seeing a player like Joe Burrow that came into LSU and changed over the whole program, making it one of the top tier offense and defenses that college seen in a long time next to the U. I think that was dope also. Um, Again, winning in your home city, I mean your hometown, you can't never go wrong with that.
Can't
You
be.
know.
Can't be. I
So
mean,
I
no
mean,
shade. Miami had a chance. They ain't do it. But keep
yeah,
it moving.
we're gonna keep the U at a turn. You know what I'm saying? So like yeah. But I have a lot of ones, like a lot of favorite players that I seen that came from out of LSU. I think that with when we talking about like wide receivers and DBs, LSU is like one of the best places to pick them up at. And I can name quite a few of them that I really, really love.
Okay, who are they?
I can name a couple. Let's see. I can go with we can go with my main safety on Tyron Matthew. He a Super Bowl winner. Um,
Mhm.
we can go with Brian LaFell. That's another one right there. One of the greatest cornerbacks that played for the Giants. Uh, that's two of them right there. Wide receiver wise, of course, I'm gonna have to go with what's his name? I can't. It was just at the top of my head. I just can't think about it. But I'm gonna put out a sleeper that I really really liked as a wide receiver, and that was Skylar Green. I like the Odell Beckham.
Becky.
Not just because
Mhm.
he wasn't really doing numbers like we was expecting him to do in football, but he brought the cockiness into football that a lot of people was missing on. He sparked the energy on a lot of things. Um, Damn, I can't forget my boy in Cincinnati, man. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. It's hurt
It's
my
come back to you.
yeah, it's gonna come back to me though. But yeah, those right there, like those are some of the key ones that came in.
Okay. All right. And for those of you that are just coming into the show, this is As a Fan. This is where we are expressing our fandom in sports. Really, we're talking about football right now. And again, like I said, I may open it up to other sports later down the line, depending on what the demand is. But right now, we're talking college football and NFL. So, pivoting off of the greatest times, the best times. What was the most heartbreaking moment or loss that you experienced as a fan of LSU?
Whew. I'm gonna tell you, anytime we lose to Alabama, that hurts, especially when we losing in like our hometown. Um, I think another one was during Katrina when our roster was so messed up that a lot of players They had, of course, they didn't have the portal back then, but a lot of our players had left, and they red shirt to, shirted to go somewhere else to go play, and that kind of like put us in a negative spot when it came down to our culture. So that forced us to like draft. Well, we had to recruit out of state, and LSU is a in-state drafting type of school, so seeing that kind of hurt it a lot. But I'll say when we lost to Alabama in the Nationals by 3 points, you know, pick six. They picked six at the last minute, and that was it. Like, I really can't stand Alabama. Alabama is, I really, if you gonna hear me say a lot of it, but yeah,
That's
I'll
hard.
say that was one of my worst moments right there. Like, just seeing, like, like you on the 40-yard line on the opposite side, and you throw a slant and picked off. You throw a slant at 3 minutes on the clock, and you picking what? That hurt it.
And they ran it back for the six.
Ran it back.
That's hurt. That's pain.
And my boy named Jamar Chase, by the way. I'm sorry.
Oh, Jamar Chase. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's pain. That's pain. And to only lose by
Mhm.
3 points, that's I know what it's like to lose by three
Mhm.
points. That's that on that. But that's what I'm looking for. Like those types of memories, like, man, they pick sixes. Those are the type of memories that I'm looking for. So why, and I guess, it's kind of obvious, I guess, for this, but why do you stay loyal to this team?
Um, because I always have faith in, like, I like the, how can I put it? The reason why I really, really stay loyal is because I really have faith that every year is a closer year to us, like accomplishing what we need to do is, and that's winning the natty. And also, not just my father played, like I grew up with a lot of people in my neighborhood that went to LSU, and like I mean, my whole neighborhood, it bleed that yellow, that purple and gold, so it's different. So like when you're around a culture of a football team that really, really, show representation in like your neighborhood, your city or whatever, it just make you want to believe in them even more, you know?
Yeah, it's real easy to like really be into the home team. You know what I'm saying? Like the home team, like I never really be understanding like you're born and raised in Ohio and you're not an Ohio State fan. Like I don't it just
Yeah,
and you like football. And you didn't go to like a school, you know what I mean? You didn't go to like a rivalry school or anything like that.
right.
And you don't mess with us like that. Like that just it really makes any sense.
Those, and then it'd be the ones that go to the school and then they graduate and then they turn out to be different fans of different schools. I'd be like, but you got a whole degree there. They gave you a whole degree. And you saying that you don't like the school? What? All right, you hold no loyalty in anything in life.
Right. And then you see the first thing I said, University of Toledo. That's where all my money went. I've
Hmm.
always followed the Rockets. It is what it is. So I'm always checking for them. But
Hmm.
yeah, so what about the Saints? Like
Oh
what makes you stay loyal to them? Like, cause I know it's been a little messy over there too.
man, look at love it or hate it. I'm gonna love my Saints to the wheels fall off. Like I tell people a lot of times, like, you know, the engine might be cut off, but the wheels still be moving. That's an analogy for the Saints right there. Like we might be down on a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, look, I can't. It's just like, man, I don't know. It's just like a toxic relationship, you know. Like you want to leave, but you can't leave because it's right there. But
I know all about it.
like I love the Saints just for the simple fact that even with this Florida league, you're gonna see this all around. Again, it's culture. Like that's my main thing about like the teams that I like is that it represents my culture more than anything.
So I guess I'll ask you that later. So okay, so as a fan of this team, and I think I know the answer to this because I think you've said it already. But what team, and I'm talking about LSU, what team do you think you guys have the biggest rivalry with?
Oh, Bama, Bama all day. Like that roll over, nah, that's all day, every day Bama. Like I don't care. Like that's one game. I'm gonna tell you like this. I put money on that game all the time. Like, look, my for instance, my girl, her son plays football, and we had to go to Tuscaloosa, and I was talking so much crap, just as like I wasn't representing my Tigers at the time, but
Right.
at the same time, it's just like, man, I don't like y'all. I can't stand y'all. Everything about y'all, I hate y'all.
Give
Y'all
me
country
the hate
bumpkins.
energy. Give me all of it.
Look, go pick y'all tomatoes, god dog. Like,
Yo,
yeah.
that's the type of hate I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Clearly, everybody hates Alabama. Clearly, like I feel like they have a rivalry with LSU. They have a rivalry with Georgia. They have a rivalry with Auburn. Like
Mhm.
everybody, and I guess I mean,
Yes, you can say it. Ohio.
no,
Yeah.
we don't have no rivalry
Oh,
with them.
all right,
I tell
got
you
you.
all the time, Ohio State has one rival, and that's
And
Team
it's
Up North. That's it. Well, everybody
mhm.
else is just on site. We see
Mhm.
it's on site. It is what it is. We get, if it's a lick we got to get back, we gonna get that lick back on site, and then we probably won't even see y'all no more forever. But our
Mhm.
biggest is definitely the boys up there in that one state. Like we don't do that around here. But Alabama, they seem to have like everybody hates them. Everybody hates them. And I was
Mhm.
gonna say, I guess I can kind of see why. Like, I mean, they've been so successful. I mean, you can't really count the last couple of years for real. But
Yeah, I don't count the
Nick Saban
success.
really did a number in Alabama. Like,
Mm.
I don't know if you ever gonna see it again. Not to that gratitude, not to that extent.
I'm. I'll say this. Even though I can't stand them, they're gonna be back up there. They're never gonna be like one of those type of teams that's just gonna sit down for 10 years and not
No,
rebuild their
it
whole
won't be that.
program. But when they get there, we still gonna spank them. We're gonna spank them regardless. Yeah.
That's the energy I'm talking about. That's the energy
Mhm.
that we need around these parts. That's all I'm talking about. So, if you just joined the stream, this is my name is Autumn the Aries, and this is As a Fan, and this is where we talk about football and your fandom of your football team. So, we're gonna do this every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, welcome into the stream. So, now what we gonna do is we are going to do a light trivia.
Okay.
Okay. A light trivia. Don't cheat. Don't do nothing like that. Okay. Look, Soka over there ready because last week she wasn't really ready. Now, here are the rules. I'm going to ask you a question and I'm gonna give you a little bit of time to see if you know the answer. And if you don't know the answer or if you say the wrong answer, I'm gonna see if anybody in the comments can come up with the answer. And if not, I'm just gonna tell you the answer. I don't
Okay.
honestly, I don't think this is gonna be hard for you. I don't think this is gonna be hard for you at all.
Okay.
So, first question, and these are all LSU questions, by the way.
Okay.
First question: what is the name of the LSU mascot?
Mike.
That's it, Mike the Tiger. See, I knew you would know that. Mike, who know? I'm gonna need anybody to know the name of their mascot. You knew that one so good. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna need everybody to know the name of their mascot. Okay, all right, you got that one. Number two,
And he a real tiger, by the way.
right? There's two, right? There's the real tiger, and then there's the one that's
Mhm.
dressed up like the tiger, right? But has that tiger like how long has the current tiger been around? Do you know? How long do
So
they live?
they change them out every 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So what do they just how do that what do they just go to the zoo and be like, can we get a tiger on loan? Like how does this work?
See, look now on that part. Look, I'm not into colonization on that side, but hey, look, we just go. Hey, however they get them, they get them.
I
We
just thought
we
about that,
know
like,
that it's real. We know that
because
it's
even
real.
like Texas, like they have that bull, and I understand the dog, like I can understand like Georgia's dog or whatever, but like them big animals, like what the they donated to the same. Man, I don't know. That's kind of crazy, but whatever it is, what it is. All right, number two. How many national championships have LSU won?
5.
That's your final answer?
Yes.
Wrong. Anybody in the comments?
What?
Anybody in the comments?
6.
Yep.
It
Four.
gotta
It's
be
four.
6.
It's four.
It's
Soka got it.
4. Oh
Yep.
wow. My bad. I'm sorry.
So
I went on.
1958, 2003,
Hmm.
2007, and 2019.
Yeah, I just wanted to one up us. That's it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I do. I mean, speaking into existence. You know what I'm
I just
saying? That's
wanted to
what they
one it
gotta.
up.
Hey. Okay, so next question. And you're gonna know this. Who was the quarterback of the 2019 national championship team?
Mr. Louisiana, Joe Burrow.
That's it. That's it. And where for extra credit, where did Joe? Who drafted Joe in the NFL?
The Bengals.
Okay, then. All right. You got it. You got it. What's up, Judy? Thank you. Thanks for coming to the stream. All right. Now, number 4. Who was the head coach of the 20 wait, who was the head coach of the 2003 national championship team?
Nick Saban.
Nick Saban. But nah, here's my thing. Let's talk about these coaches for a minute. What do you think? What do you think about how there's like an actual coaching tree? It's like these coach or carousel. It's like these coaches are just in rotation. Like, how do you feel about that? Especially like in the SEC and the ACC, it's like they cross the same. How do you feel about that?
Me personally, I really don't feel any type of way about it because, like in the SEC, just like how y'all is in the Big Ten, like it's just on its own like entity. So like I might get, I mean like I could probably pull off a quarterback from over here at Georgia. I mean at Florida, a quarterback coach that I've been needing the whole time that knows the development of the SEC. I don't want to go to the Big Ten to go pick nobody off because they don't know the culture of the SEC or how everybody move and stuff like that. So like me personally, I don't have a problem with it. I think that builds character and they know what they be looking for when it come down to like a product when they get on the field.
But do you feel like so like not even saying like I don't know, not even necessarily saying picking a coach from a different conference, but like, do you think that other coaches outside of that coaching carousel, even within like the SEC or, whatever, do you feel like they don't have a chance? Like, do you feel like, they could be, if they're like an assistant coach somewhere else or something like that, or do you think that sometimes that they just don't even have a chance?
I think they have a chance. I think it's all about your resume and what you do with certain players on that part right there. I think a lot of it is definitely about what you could produce on the field about your product. Because like again, if I have an offensive line coach that could, make sure that my quarterback take about what 5 sacks in a year, I want him on my team. I need to have him on my team. I don't care how I'm gonna get him, how much money it takes to get him. That's who I want. And then guess what? From him being an offensive lineman coach, I might even bump him up to be one of my offensive coordinators. You know, and then that's how the chain. That's how the chain always works.
So speaking of coaches, again, we know that LSU just had a big change in coaches. I first want to talk about how you felt as a fan with Brian Kelly as a coach.
I couldn't stand him
Tell me why.
because for one, it's one thing that you gotta hold if you're a coach is accountability, and not just for your players but for yourself. And he never held accountability for himself as a coach, and that just show you about how his track record always been in football. He'll blame the player before he blame himself. He doesn't never sticks up for his team. I mean his players or anything like that. Him and oh man, I can't even think about his name right now. But him and our quarterback, he definitely they did not get along at all. because that Brian Kelly attitude is that he got to be sassy with everything that he does, and I think that just stuck it off at the end of the day, you know. So I never liked him when he was in Notre Dame. I don't like to see when a coach get out their body and yelling at their players, especially like before the NIL and stuff like that happened. It's like, man, you look, they're young. You gotta show them different. You gotta show them different. You going on the sideline asking if they coachable in the middle of a game with a hard mic on, that ain't cool.
Mhm. And then,
So yeah,
you always, when talking about Brian Kelly, you always got to talk about the fact that he had them kids out there practicing in that storm, and that young
right.
man got up there, had him up there recording the game, and he fell to his death. Like you always, and he was just so unremorseful. Like he just, it's like he just moved on. He just did not care. And the other
Right.
thing, and I know you was talking about how much you hate him, but let me just go ahead and put this out there. I can't think of the young man's name. Doggone, it's on the tip of my tongue. But when that young man at LSU was having all them problems, them headaches and all that stuff, you know who I'm talking about.
Mhm.
And then they had the medical staff, taking a look at him. They were saying that he was just had like, what was it, like vertigo or something like
Yeah,
that.
vertigo.
Come to find out, he had like a whole tumor. They rushed him to the emergency room one night, and he had to go undergo surgery. And when he woke up, he wasn't the same. He was paralyzed. He could barely talk. He went through all that, and that coach, you would think he would have had. So you would have think he would have gone to visit him. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't calling. He didn't do anything. Like he was such. Brian Kelly is such a terrible individual.
Yeah. And then it's not just that. It's like what he did with Kyra Lacey when
That's who it is.
Lacey
Oh,
with the
that was
whole no, Kyra Lacey was a receiver that
it?
killed himself. He didn't never reach out to none of the family. He didn't like try to like, console them. Like the first thing that he did was he disowned Kyron, you know. He made Kyron feel lower than what he really was. And like I just like after that, like I just feel like why is this dude still in football if you make a young man feel the way that they feel? You know, he not even like with the father role alone, letter saying that, hey, look, this man, he never really liked the Kyron. He never really looked out for Kyron when it came down to his best interests. When the situation happened with him and the whole car accident situation, he definitely belittled the man, you know.
Mhm.
And it's like, yo, why are we having him like, being a coach? Why is he still a coach? Why is he still around? Why is he dealing with anything that have to deal with football? It's just
Mhm.
it's just bad when you got somebody like that, you know?
Yeah, it's bad for morale. It was terrible. And I can remember, was it like, maybe was it after he got fired, and there were like alumni players coming back and just trying to rebuild the morale in the locker room. Like
Right.
everybody, it was a mess. Like them young men were messed
Stressed out. They were stressed out. Yes. So
up.
yeah,
So moving on to your new coach, who I call Messy Boots,
that.
uh, Lane Kiffin. How you feeling about Lane Kiffin? He's so
so this
messy.
my
No,
thing.
Judy, he's messy. He is the messiest of the boots. He is so messy. And is he not messy, Mato? Tell the truth.
I'm gonna give you my honest opinion, and I feel like this is just an honest opinion. Um, I definitely didn't like the way that he left Alabama. That's one of my main things, right? Um, Again, my thing is I'm big on loyalty. If you left them like that, you know what I'm saying, you might leave for the next team to do the same thing.
And let's talk
Um,
about it real quick. He's done it. That wasn't
mhm.
the first time.
Oh, but this is the first time he's getting paid as like, like within the new NILs and everything like that, and plus
True.
with the
That's true.
coaching, you
But I
know,
keep saying, I'm like, we. I don't know if you watched his documentary, that documentary he had,
not yet.
but I think that as fans of college football who kind of know a little bit about Lane Kiffin, like I honestly feel like if that Alabama job ever because is ever open, I think he would risk it all to go and be a head coach at Alabama. Do you agree?
I definitely agree because the bag is big over there. That's one. The bag is big, and he chasing. He's not chasing a ring. He's chasing money, and that was one of my biggest things right there. Um, Anytime the governor of Louisiana said, "Hey, look here, I don't care how we get this money, he coming to LSU regardless." Like that was just a difference right there. So just imagine what happens in Alabama. But my main thing about Lane Kiffin is like again, like I said, I'm big on loyalty when it comes down to like teams. Like even though with the NILs and like people can hit they can hit like kids can hit the portal and stuff like that. Um, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, but my thing is like I respect everybody hustle. But if you moving and grooving like that, like what makes you think that you're gonna be better on the next team, and what makes you think that your chemistry is gonna be great with the next team that you go to?
I mean,
Because
it stands true for players and coaches. It really does.
so Lane Kiffin, he got majority of everybody from Ole Miss to come over to LSU, which is it's alright, But like again, my key thing also is culture. You got to culture these cats up because again, like I said, LSU draft within the state, Mississippi draft from Wisconsin, Ohio, everywhere else. And it's not a knock to anybody, but at the same time, like you gotta have that when you come to a certain team. Now, hopefully these cats when they come in, they're gonna be doing what they're supposed to do. I'm not expecting Lane Kiffin to win a win a natty within the next year, but hopefully within the next 2 years we should be able to compete. That's if he stays. So that's my thing.
And so, for people who don't know, Lane Kiffin was the head coach over at Ole Miss, and like mid-season, little over mid-season, there were rumors going around that he was possibly going to leave Ole Miss. He was interviewing and doing all this, that, and the third. But the part that makes it, which is, coaches do that, right? Like, and the thing that I don't like that they do this in the middle of the season, like, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't like that they do this when the season is going on. I would much rather the season be done. It should be like a portal, like how you know what I mean? Like how the kids have to do it. It should be like an opening time of when they should interview and all that so that it doesn't interrupt what's going on with the team. So
So
he's
the
interviewing for
future,
the team. He's interviewing for, I think he interviewed for more than one team, right? And ended up at LSU. But in between that, it was the tweeting he was doing. It was all of the like little shots he was taking, and he would not confirm if he was staying or leaving Ole Miss. And the
mhm.
whole time, Ole Miss is competing. Whole time, Ole Miss is about to be in the playoffs, and he was just being extra messy about it, like super duper messy. And then to add insult to injury, he basically tells the coaching staff, like, either y'all come with me now or you don't come with me at all. And I think they and a few of them went, but they had like a little powwow about it where, since Ole Miss went to the playoffs, they let a couple of those coaches stay and coach until, they were put out of the playoffs. So that whole ordeal was very whack. And I say the same thing about like James Franklin getting fired in the middle of the season at Penn State and going to Virginia Tech, where he's about to go over there and ball out. Like, Virginia Tech is about to be Virginia Tech again. We're going to know and hear a lot more about Virginia Tech. So I don't like those mid season firings and all that stuff. It doesn't make any sense. Like, do you think that firing a coach in the middle of the season is going to help the team? It's not, ever.
Well, in our case, yes, it helped a lot.
You think
Like
so?
oh yeah, yeah, get rid of him. I've been
I
calling
mean,
for
but he
his.
was also the worst. I mean, he really was like Brian Kelly. That's a different. That's a different
You
beast.
see what I'm saying now, though,
Yeah, no,
right?
I
Yeah,
get it.
like
Yeah, I get it.
yeah, with him, like now we had to get rid of him, like he was about to send us in the trenches, like
Yeah,
for real,
yeah,
for
you're
real.
right. You're right. Crazy. Okay, so all right, so we talked about the coaches, but I have one more question, one more trivia question. But I had to stop and talk about this coaching situation. Oh wait, but you didn't tell me what you thought, how you feel about Lane Kiffin outside of the way he moved around. Um,
What do you mean?
like just outside of like how it was kind of shady how he was moving. Like, how do you feel about him as a coach overall? Like, what do you think he's gonna bring to LSU?
He's definitely gonna bring culture. Like again, like how we was just saying, like about the trees. Like he from out of Nick's, he definitely came from up underneath Nick Saban. Like anytime he need a problem or something like that, he seen how Nick Saban was on like certain people and certain players and stuff like that. So he already coming with the heat. You know what I mean? So like, um, my main thing with this is like, what is gonna be the identity that he's gonna come with? What is his identity gonna be? Is he gonna be Ole Miss? He gonna be Alabama? He just gonna he gonna switch over to like LSU? Because at the end of the day, I don't need no coach that's gonna be having to like, man, you know what? When that just like how you said earlier about like well Arkansas, I mean with Alabama, man, the Alabama job it opened back up for me, man. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take it. I
Mhm.
want you to be 100% in, like 100% in. I don't need 50. I don't need 40. I need 100.
Do you think he's going to be able to win over the locker room?
That part, that's hard, because like again, I said it's a culture thing. I think that he got like Swaggly. I think he got the swag to really really go up in there, and, like motivate the locker room. Like let these kids know that hey, look, man, I'm not like your boy over here, but I'm also not like your friend right now. I'm your coach, and we about to come up in here. We supposed to do what we supposed to do. Do your job, you know,
Mhm.
because
And
that's what.
Lane Kiffin stands tall. Now that's one thing that he will do. He's gonna stand tall. He's gonna look you dead in the eye and talk every bit of smack, and he's gonna mean everything. And if it don't fall through the way that he wants to fall through, it's
Yeah.
like on to the next. So that is one thing that I do like about him.
Nah, for real, for real. I think that I think just all around, like I said, like he coming from Nick Saban, he been around that LSU culture and atmosphere when he was younger. I think that he'll definitely, I think he'll fit in. Like again, I just want to see who you gonna bring in with yourself, like who you gonna be.
Well, we gonna see. We got what? 28 more Saturdays. It's a long time to go. I'm a
I
little
know.
depressed. It's depressing.
I'm
But
already
we
feeling.
got some time to go. Okay, here is my last trivia question. In 2014, which two LSU wide receivers were drafted in the NFL? And I'll give you a hint. One was drafted round one, and the other one was drafted round two.
Oh shoot! Nah, I think you got me on this one. Brian LaFell.
Nope.
That was a Brian LaFell on that. Mm. Oh man, that hit. oh,
Anybody in the
oh,
comments?
that was LB. I mean, what's his name? Lamar Beck. I mean, Odell Beckham.
That was
He was
one. He
one of
was the
them.
first round. He was the first rounder.
And, what's his name? What's the other one, man? Oh my God, I know his name is like right there, and he actually still play if I'm not mistaken. He'll backup.
I feel
Oh
like you said his name once already. I feel like you did.
no, not Jamal Chase.
Oh no, no, no,
No,
that one.
not Jamal Chase. Yeah, you got me on that one right there.
All right. Anybody in the comments know in 2014 which two LSU wide receivers were drafted in the NFL? One we already identified, Odell Beckham. I call him Becky. I call him Becky every time. Anybody? Nobody? Going once? All right. It was Jarvis Landry,
Jarvis Landry, yes, it was right there, Cleveland.
and
He went to
he
Cleveland.
was drafted in round two.
Yeah, to Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I don't know. I didn't even see who it was. I didn't even. What you think? What is Odell Beckham doing right now? What is he doing?
Being him,
Just nothing. Just out there. Is he still training? Is he still trying to play?
I think he retired this year.
Did he actually like? He actually said he was retiring.
Yeah, he retired. They try to hate on him because they said that that contract that he did with the Ravens, he wanted it in Bitcoin, and he took. They was like, but because Bitcoin had crashed, and
Hmm.
like this year it crashed a little bit. But what happened was he sold his shares in 2022, and he made almost 60 million off of it. He sold half of his shares and made 60 million off it. So that was a win.
Is he the one that was saying that that he wasn't making enough money though? Like he made all that money, but it wasn't enough to live off of. What was that him? It was a wide receiver that was saying that. I think it might have been him.
Hmm. Yeah, I tell you this, like after he done hop from team to team, I was like, man, I'm good on that. You know, I love your mama, I love your daddy, but you, bro, do something else.
And he got hurt though too, didn't he?
Yeah, he tore both of his ACLs.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's a very common thing in the NFL, tearing the ACL. Is it due to the turf?
I think majority of it is that I would say majority personally would be the turf. And again, like these cats be going at a whole different rate than what we saw growing up. Like they actually punishing their bodies while taking care of their bodies. They punishing their bodies every day, training, training, training. So back in the day, that wasn't thought of because of the training, the lack of training that these cats had coming into the league. Versus today, like you dealing with pure athletes, you know.
Mhm.
So when you see them tearing their ACL back in the day, an ACL injury will last you almost 2 years. Now these cats
Mhm.
coming out like, oh, I told one, I'm back in the mid-season. What's up? But it's a common thing, majority between that and the training.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I was wondering. I'm like, he kind of just faded. If I feel like he just kind of faded out at some point, and we just didn't hear nothing else from him. So crazy. Anywho, so that's all of my trivia questions. Is there anything else that you want to tell the audience or myself about LSU?
Death Valley at nighttime is where you want to be, hands down.
I gotta get
When you
there. I
see
gotta go.
when you see all that purple light up in the stands and the shows that go on there, it is definitely where you want to be. Yep.
It
Like,
is. It is. See, and I have this thing where I'm trying to get to a bunch of different college stadiums. Like I'm going to go to the USC Ohio State game out at the Coliseum because I want to see the Coliseum.
I want to see the Coliseum too. Also, that's one of the stadiums. I'm like, man, that thing's so nice.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm going. That's the game that I'm going to for sure this
Mhm.
year.
Um, Other thing is outside of like all that, I think that when you see that, like again, when you see that purple and gold, it hit differently. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely different, especially when you got one of the most top defenses in the college football consistently. Can't complain.
So real quick, you think so do you still think that LSU is wide receiver you? Or do you think there's another team that has taken over? I'm asking this specifically
I'm
because I
gonna be
know.
honest with you on this question because I tell people all the time the greatest wide receivers come out of LSU and Ohio State. Ohio State definitely always have some of the best wide receivers ever. I'm a Saints fan, and everybody that's wide receiver coming out of Ohio State. You had Michael Thomas. You just had Chris Olave. You
Okay,
just had who else? I'm sorry, I can't think of his name right now. Devery Henderson. Devery Henderson came out of Ohio State. Man, they produced the best wide receivers next to LSU, hands down.
I mean, I actually because there's always a debate. There's always a debate about that. And then the other debate is, and I don't know why this is a debate because I don't even think it should be a debate that this Indiana team was just as good as the 2019 LSU team. I don't agree with that at all.
Nah, nah. It, it's no comparison. For one, their schedule was horrible. That's what I look at right there. I'm not gonna knock talent. Um, oh boys, he that guy. I forget his name all the time, the quarterback. But he is
Mendoza.
that guy. Mendoza, yeah, he is that guy. But I would never compare them to the 2019 LSU Tigers. It's just a hard comparison. Like, I mean, you see what they look like, so that's probably why they're giving that accolade, you know. But
Mhm.
other than that, nah, they're not doing that.
I mean, I like Mendoza. I like Fernando Mendoza, but I don't. I just I didn't. I felt like he was good. I felt like he did what needed to be done. I felt like he made the plays when he really needed to make the plays. But I don't feel like everybody else feels about him. Like the game that they played against Penn State, where they came back and won at the end. I don't know if you
Yeah.
watched it. Yo, dope game. Like I said, that's one game that I'll never forget. I'm standing in front of TV, and neither one of these my teams, but like it was such a dope game. But that last pass, it was the catch was better than the throw.
The
I
catch
say
was
that it was Cooper who got that. Like the catch was better than the throw, and the reason why they were behind was because of Mendoza. So
Mhm.
like they're like, oh, that's his Heisman moment. No, his Heisman moment came in the national championship against Miami, in my opinion. So I don't really feel the same way about him that everybody else feel. I mean, I wish him the best. Like, they beat us by 3. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't
Mhm.
because our kicker is just big trash. And we had some problems on the offensive line. But he's good. He really is. He know how he could take a hit because that the very
Oh yeah.
first play of the Big Ten
Oh yeah.
championship, that boy got blasted. He got up, he shook it off, and that was that. So yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know, but no, I agree. I don't think that they were. I don't think they're comparable to the 2019 LSU Tigers for
Yeah,
sure.
I get they yeah, no comparison.
Yeah.
But I think with him going to the NFL, though, I think that he's gonna have a great career if he gets from the Raiders.
Because that's exactly where he's going.
Yeah, if he can get from out the Raiders, I think he's gonna have a great year. That man 6'5", 245 pounds, running over stuff. That's what you want to see, like for real, for real. He got heart. If you got heart as a quarterback, you gonna go places.
We'll see. And I don't know. Maybe the Raiders might turn it around. I doubt it, but it is what it is. So thank you, Mato, for coming and being my guest this week. Just again, let everybody know who you are, and if you're doing any certain streaming times this time around. I know you just came back to the app. How to follow you, how to get in contact with you. Maybe if they want you on another show.
Okay, once again, I'm Mato. Look, y'all can catch me anytime between noon and probably like in the afternoon. Majority of the time, you'll see me popping around different people's streams. You can reach me on my IG. My IG is actually about to be back up. I just opened up another tag IG, so you'll see me on there. And come kick it with me. It's a nice vibe.
Everybody, make sure y'all hit the follow on Mato. Make sure y'all hit the follow on all of the gifters. Again, Mato, I am so honored to have you on. We have to do this again when what I'm saying, when the season starts. When it's like I need to have like a separate thing where we could just go ahead and just just talk, just get our talks off our chest. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
no problem.
Because me, I'll be over here stressed out during the season. So
Me too. High blood
So
pressure.
that'll be fun. So thank you so much. And so the next week I don't have a guest yet. So if you guys know anybody that wants to be a guest on as a fan, again, as you can see, this is not like a super duper like strenuous fan situation. Like, we're really talking about being a fan. It's all about being a fan and just loving your team and being able to talk about your team, you know, in a good or bad way. You might be frustrated with them, I don't know. So if you know anybody, let me know. If you want to be on the show, let me know. It's open to everybody, and that's that. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate y'all.